You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
This is the Daniel Monday Night Community Show on demand through YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to us through this method. If you'd like to keep up to date with when I add new interviews, then subscribe to this channel. We're going to be talking about future jobs in the technology world that don't perhaps exist at the moment. Firstly, thank you very much for joining us. Could you just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself as well?
Of course, yeah. Thanks for inviting me on. My name's Steve Tooze. I'm a future consultant, and I work for a business called the Future Laboratory, and we specialise in in-depth research to discover today's trends, and then from those trends, speculate in a very informed way about what the future will hold for a particular industry or business.
And my name is Ryan Asdourian, working at Microsoft, looking over Windows and Surface, and we partnered up with Steve to do some great research to show off how some technology creates future jobs.
So can you perhaps guide us through some of these new future jobs?
Absolutely. So, as Ryan was saying, it's all about the technology here, really, and the technological advances that are going to happen over the next 10 or 15 years, which are going to spark what will effectively be a second industrial revolution. We'll see the advent of mature virtual reality and augmented reality technology, artificial intelligences, and very, very advanced software systems that will cause for lots of jobs to become much more creative. So machines and robots will take over the admin elements of our jobs, and we will be freed up to do lots more of the creative elements. But in doing that, we will actually create entirely new job areas. So, for example, we might see by 2026 the virtual habitat designer becoming a mainstream job. And this is the idea of somebody who creates virtual reality environments that are so realistic, it's almost impossible to tell them from the real world. And we will use this technology to create virtual universities, virtual office spaces, so that colleagues from different sides of the world can be in the same building at the same time and it feel like a real building, attend sports events, go to far-flung places, even travel into space. So these will all be things that we can do within these environments, and there will be huge teams of people designing these environments in a way that makes it realistic enough to fool the human mind into thinking they're in a real place.
So how did you predict this, and how accurate do you think these predictions actually are?
Well, we have 20 years of experience in working in future consultancy. So we have a method of looking at the key emerging trends. So we spot what we think the new niche important trends are anywhere in the world, and we then talk to the people who are driving those trends and ask them to tell us how they think they will evolve into the mainstream over the next 10 or 15 years. A bit like the way the internet has become such an all-consuming piece of technology for most of us. It was a small niche thing 20 years ago, and it grew into this big worldwide network that we all use every day now. And that's what we see these technologies doing in the next 10 or 15 years.
So what do you think this means for young people at school, at college or university? I suppose perhaps it might help them.
Yeah, absolutely. We wanted to share this research with them so that they could get an understanding of the new types of jobs that will exist in the future. And part of this is how they use some of technology to collaborate. If you think about some of the jobs where you're a freelance biohacker, bringing together science and information from all over the world, you need the right collaboration skills and the right technology and performance technology that will allow you to create new things, find new ways of creativity, and bring together the skills that you've learned your entire life naturally from the environment you've been in with the type of specific skills that you would learn in university. So we really think it's about bringing those together and using the technology like Microsoft Surface to create those.
Yeah, because I suppose it's one of those problems that perhaps the youngsters at school at the moment are possibly thinking about one sort of career, but actually by the time they've trained, it's not so relevant and future's moved on. So that's probably the most difficult thing, and I suppose this is trying to combat that, this research.
Well, in a lot of ways, it's trying to expand how people are thinking about what types of future jobs could exist. And I think that that's one of the key messages in this is how some of the things that are very niche today will start to become more mainstream, and some of the skills that you use naturally today will actually, while some of them may even be for hobby or fun today, will actually parlay into a world of work in the future.
So do you have any advice for people who would like to go into these types of jobs and roles?
Yes, I think the main thing to bear in mind is not to panic. They, as Ryan quite rightly said, they are already unconsciously learning a lot of the skills they will need because they are such natives of the internet and of digital technologies. But when they start thinking about jobs, rather than focusing down very early on a particular specialized job or a particular area they want to be in, think more generally and start building up a really cross-disciplinarian skill set. So think about being good at telling stories, particularly online. Think about having some technical abilities, but also think about things like architecture and design as ways of getting into spaces where you might be designing virtual worlds or you might be biohacking to create tomorrow's medicines.
So where can our listeners go to find out more information?
Yeah, we've put together all of the details of this report on our website. You can access it very easily by just going to our Surface UK website, which is just on Facebook, facebook.com/SurfaceGB. And all of the information, both on Surface and on the entire report, including details of all the different jobs, are outlined there in a very easy and consumable way. So it's a great way for students and for everybody to kind of just learn about what the future holds as far as some of the future jobs. And again, that's at facebook.com/SurfaceGB.
Well, I'd like to thank you very much for talking to us here at BRFM Bridge Radio on the Monday Night Community Show. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Good to talk to you. Thank you.